What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So let's get right into the video. No hesitation. I skipped his intro, but if you want to go see this video, it is literally called "If You're Losing Attraction in a Relationship, Do This Now." And it will also be in the pinned comments down below if I remember to do it. So let's go.
First things to realize about this whole dynamic when it comes to this kind of energy is that one of the best things you can possibly do to get someone else to feel a certain way about you is to simply nag them over and over again. It's to ask them to look for their approval or validation, to say, hey, baby, do you still approve of me? Do you still like me? Hey, is everything still going
He's got to be fucking around.
okay? And what ends up happening is they eventually just come around and they're like, oh, I'm going to start giving this person approval and validation. And then they finally decide to do it. Okay, of course, I'm being sarcastic here. What you really want to do is not nag them. You don't necessarily want to demand that they or in sometimes even in passive aggressive ways. Like, what do you do? And they're like, I'm going to go hang out with friends. And you're like, oh, that's fine. Okay, hang out with friends. And then deep down on the inside, you're feeling like, why are they hanging out with friends? Do they not love me anymore? Do they have friends? Do they not love me? These are things and stories in our own mind and in our own psyche that we begin to develop that is normally reflecting back as well that there's some inherent belief there. It says that I'm not worthy, something wrong with me. Maybe I attract people and they leave.
So this isn't directly related, but there are actual people that I have coached lately that come to me for money coaching. And certain people can hold certain beliefs about relationships, money, friendship, social circle, their body, right? Whatever. And what you believe is what you're going to follow. And this is why censorship and cancel culture is so bad, because if you automatically believe that everything that you think is correct and you don't get challenged, right, then you're never really going to grow as a person. How many times have we all been wrong about something, and somebody challenges you on something, or maybe a parent or a loved one, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, was like, no, this is the way it is. And you were completely wrong, whether you admit it or not, right? So anyway, these guys that I'm coaching, it's sometimes hard for me because I'm at such a level now where when I talk to guys that are just starting out, I tell them like how far that they can go, but I have to remember they need to make their first dollar online because they need to believe that it's true. So they can look at you all day long on YouTube and look at all the people on YouTube driving around Lambos and shit. That's not me. I'll probably do a lifestyle thing someday down the road, but changing that belief that you can make money online with creation is something that needs to be, of course, believed and accepted. And a lot of guys still feel so disconnected from that reality because they've never made a dollar online. So once you make your first dollar, that will change your belief. Okay. So, same thing with a relationship. If you truly believe inside that all women are trash, you're going to, of course, go after trash women when there are great women out there. I don't know why people believe, some people will believe all people are cheaters. Okay. So Aaron's talking about you have the power to change your beliefs and stories, but you have to also be willing to even try. And some people are not willing to. They're identified with whatever they think. And they're like, and because of that, they don't want to change it. Some people, until you're introduced with pain. And this is why pain and darkness and sadness and grief is entered into our lives, because it's there to challenge you to rise your consciousness levels. So that's why you guys have to read Letting Go and Sedona Method. If I sound stuffed, by the way, ragweed is killing me right now. So ragweed is just starting the end of August every year just kills me from August all the way to about halfway through October. I just get destroyed. Anyway.
These are all things that you want to become aware of, because remember, people feel what you feel about you.
That's right.
So when it comes to the energy slipping away or the attraction slipping away, one of the things that you want to do, and I know I've never said this in a video before, but that's because it's my most popular technique that I've ever shared, and it works so powerfully that I really only want people to use it for good. Do you want to know what it is? It's you pull your energy back, okay? This is the key to any type of attraction. This is the key, because what happens is attachment is the root of all suffering. Attachment is also something that we can call neediness. When we are attached to what someone else thinks or feels about us, we are, in a way, making something outside of us the means to complete something inside of us. And one of the things that very often happens in relationships is there's a story that's developed that this person is the key to my happiness. They're the other half to my immortal soul. And this person doesn't know it yet. I see this on my channel sometimes. Like, what do you do when your twin flame is running and they don't know you're twin flame? The best thing you could do is maybe just go explain it to them. Be like, hey, I know you don't know this yet, but you are the other half to my soul. You are the other half to my happiness, and you're running from your own work right now. But if you just come here and connect with me in this way, if you just connect with me,
sounds like force, doesn't it? So why do you think I bring up that chart right here? I'll pull it up on screen right now. Doesn't that sound like force? Anybody who's listening, there's the Hawkins scale of consciousness chart, right? And then it's divided from force to power. So whenever somebody acts just like how Aaron's talking about, right? It's completely forceful instead of attraction. Power is basically attraction in this sense. Power is, it's a much bigger word in my opinion, obviously, than attraction. So when you are attracting, you are powerful, right? So this is when you're neutral, accepting, right? You're using reason, you're full of joy. So one of the hardest things for human beings to do is actually feel joy, because they are like, oh, if I'm feeling this way, that means something bad is about to happen, right? Us as a human species have become so attached to our sadness, right? Peace. As a man, you guys all know peace is what we all strive to achieve in our lives as men. We need peace. Okay. Now, a lot of guys like chaos, but I would argue that those guys have some work to do, because as I've grown up, when I was younger, I liked that chaos, but I had work to do. That's just my perspective. But I'm also seeing the same thing from some of the guys that I'm coaching during the dating, because a lot of guys will come to me for coaching for breakups, right? And then they don't actually get their ex back, some of them. So I'll help them with their dating life. And I'll say, okay, like, let's just go back to basics, back to scratch, and let's start over. And we go through all the fundamental material, and that's them reading all the books. There's like 6 or 7 books now, 8 books. And it's a lot of information. That's why I'm writing my own book, by the way, just so you guys know, so you can have a one-stop shop for it all. But it's going to take some time to put together. So, I'll have it as a recommended reading thing in my material still. It'll still be in the description box. It'll still be in the pinned comments and shit like that. But I want to have a place for you guys to go. So I might even divide the first 2 books, one for breakups and one for dating. So anyway, the going forward, what Aaron's talking about is in his demonstration is force. And this is what happens when you guys are going through breakups and you guys are looking for videos. How do I get my ex back? You guys are trying to figure out some sort of tactic, but he's talking about pulling your energy back, right? Walking away, pull your energy back. It's the same thing. So when you pull your energy back, you walk away, you take time for yourself, you work on yourself. It's called a bunch of different things. But when you frame it in the idea of pulling your energy back and just saying, okay, I'm just going to focus on what I need to focus on, because where you put your energy is what's going to grow. So a lot of you guys have so much self-work to do, and the relationship revealed that hole. Many of you come to me and you're like, man, this relationship opened my eyes to some things. Right. So that's what I usually do with my students, is just become very aware. Once you're aware, it's extremely simple when you see this work for what it is. Emotions complicate all of this work. Anyway, let's go back.
You'll realize you are the other half to my soul. Of course, I'm being sarcastic here again. Okay, I'm being sarcastic twice in this video now, so don't take it too seriously. Another part of this as well is to loosen up. We take this thing so seriously, life so seriously sometimes, love so seriously sometimes. And I'll tell you from experience of working in my job at Nordstrom's and women's shoes, I go into work every day, I get paid commission.
In case anybody was wondering, my face was covering that thing. It said, let go and enjoy the process.
If I went in with the intention of having fun and connecting with other people, magic would happen. If I went in the intention of, I need to make $4,000 today in sales so that I make like $300 of commission, I need to do this, then guess what? Resistant energy. It wouldn't work so well. So for this,
that's why you guys going through breakups are having such a hard time, and then deny when people like myself make videos about it. If you do this the right way, it will work better. Doesn't always work, but it works better. But there are guys that come on and they're like, this doesn't work, never works, right? And they start doing that kind of shit. It's because it never worked for them one time. So they're like, oh shit, never works for anybody, because that's now their new perception of this whole thing. When literally like 2-3 days ago, a guy that I've been coaching for like 2 or 3 months has gotten his ex back. Okay, so guys, like, you know, as a person who does this all the time, right, and gets guys to go from A to B or A to Z, because we work on so many things, you know, just because it doesn't work for one person doesn't matter what it is. Okay, doesn't mean it does not like that for other things. So there are people, for example, like I make all of my money online, right? And there are people who've tried it and they're like, oh, it doesn't work. None of it works. When in fact, all of it works. If you do, drop shipping, it works. SEO works, which is primarily what I do. Amazon FBA works. Kindle publishing works. All of it works. YouTube marketing works. It all works. Copywriting works. Okay. It all works. You just have to stick to it long enough in order for it to work, and then get a mentor, get somebody ahead of you, right? But same thing with a relationship. If, you know, a breakup, if you didn't get somebody back, it didn't work for you, right? It might not work for you, but that doesn't mean that you have to, you know, give up on yourself. You have to keep going. You have to keep working.
and for everything that we're talking about right now, this is about regaining your own sense of attraction, your own sense of magnetism by pulling your energy back and putting it inside of your own body. And understanding that a lot of times if somebody feels like they're slipping away, you want to know what they might need? They might need a little bit of space. They might need a little bit of space. And that's okay.
Energetically. This is why when you've moved on, right, it works. That's when you get calls. Because you have finally you've actually done it. See, a lot of guys are so frustrated because they get to the point where they're like, okay, if I stop thinking about my ex, or if I stop chasing my ex, or if I stop caring about them, then I'm not going to want them anymore. So then I'm letting them go, and I'm letting them, I'm forgetting about them, right? That's what they always say. Yeah. Yes, that is what you're doing. You're pulling your energy away from, you're stopping the thoughts of them, and then, you know, you're putting a stop. You're cauterizing the wound, so to speak. The wound, it still hurts, but you're stopping it. Okay. You're stopping the bleeding. Okay. And then what happens there is that person has had space from you. So Aaron talks more about the spiritual side, and how if you think about somebody, they can literally feel it. But funny enough, okay, just in my own life experience, what I'll tell you guys is when I have coached guys, right? Every single time a girl has come back to my students, right? Because I'm always there to see it. I'm observing. It's always when the guys have started to really forget, let them go, move on, stop caring, they stop the worrying, and they stop the fucking obsessive process of wanting them back. When they stop that, that's when they call. So what he says, what Aaron is saying on the spiritual side, he's saying that's why it works. And then I'm seeing it on the practical side of, okay, this is what's actually happening. So they're matching. Now, is it guaranteed? No. Everyone wants a fucking guarantee, right? Humans, man. So literally, that's what it's all about. So I think at the end of the day, understanding that it's just about pulling you, like literally, like when you start thinking about them, think about something else. You can change your thoughts. So when you go work out, right? Think about your workouts. Okay. Think about your car. Think about stuff you need to do. Think about whatever, anything else. And then, yes, you do have to, take time to grieve. And that is when you're going to make the most progress energetically, so to speak.
Give them some space. Stop trying to chase. It's like they're like, okay, I just need some space. And sometimes, by the way, sometimes they're testing you.
It says it's okay to set boundaries and ask for space. That's what those yellow letters say.
They do want space, but they're like, is this person going to get all needy and freaking weird with me when I just ask for a little bit of space? Or are they going to be cool? And about being cool, it's about really understanding what are you asking for this person? Do you need their constant validation or approval? Because there's another side of this as well where I believe it is powerful to be vulnerable. And even in an anxious and an avoidant relationship, where sometimes someone may have an anxious attachment style where they lean in. Avoidant is like they want space a lot of times. There could be power in actually expressing, like, listen, when you pull away and you want space, sometimes it makes me a little bit feel uncomfortable. It's not a bad thing sometimes to express that because you're being vulnerable.
But if it comes off as neediness, right, it's going to make them want more space. So take that note down.
Expressing what's real. A lot of times what the anxious will do is be passive aggressive. And they won't express that at all. And they'll just be like, fine, go hang out with your friend. I'm going to hang out with my friend. I have friends too. Haha. And then they'll go and they'll like try to like put on this whole show thing, you know. Don't be passive aggressive. Be vulnerable over being passive aggressive, but also just look at yourself. Why am I afraid to let this person have a little bit of space? Space isn't a bad thing. A lot of times in space, they'll be able to appreciate you more. They'll realize that their feelings actually come back even stronger.
That is why Chris Camwell talks about attraction grows in space. I've seen this happen. The only reason why so many people are so afraid to do it is because of fear, right? Look at this chart. Where's fear? In the force section. Fear's right here. I know my fucking face is covering it. Fear is right here. Okay? Fear is the enemy. Fear is literally the opposite of everything that you have ever wanted. Okay, so many people will say to me, "I'm a guy, Kyle. I want to make money online. I want the relationship of my dreams. I want the body of my dreams," right? And we all know it's on the other side of work, but we're all afraid to fail. Afraid to fail. Okay, we're afraid. We're fearful. Every single time we're fearful, it's never going to work out for us because we get paralyzed by this fear. So if I sit still, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. I don't need to do anything. I'm cool. I'm all right. Everything's okay. Why do you think people run to video games to escape? Movies, drugs, alcohol. How many of you that are going through a breakup right now, watching this video, you know, are trying to escape from it? You're trying to. How many times I've heard this before? Kyle, how do I turn off the pain? How do I make it go away? It doesn't work like that. You're going through this because you have to. It sucks to hear that. It really does. I know that. But that's the way it works. That's the way this life works. That's how you learn shit. That's how you learn what you don't want. That's how you stop chasing shitty women. But guys, I see this in the red pill community sometimes. Some people are starting to talk to me from my other channel. And some of it is literally these guys have a belief system about women. So they don't actually seek out good women. They just keep dating shitty women. It's a cycle, continuous cycle over and over and over again. And they keep thinking, okay, because I keep dating shitty women, literally they keep getting the reinforcement that women are shitty because they keep dating shitty women. See, it's this fucking constant cycle of shit where, and women do the same thing with men. Oh my God, the fucking men suck. So they keep, going out with shitty fucking men. And instead of becoming the most attractive version of yourself and attracting a better partner, a better mate, a better woman or a better man, whatever you're looking for, you don't do that because first of all, work is hard and painful. It sucks, right? My ex-girlfriend I haven't talked to her in years, so I don't know. So many problems, real, actual emotional problems, right? Would start fights for no reason out of nowhere. If I messed with her at all, she took it seriously. Like I like to joke around with the person I'm with, banter, right? Fuck around with them and joke with them and shit like that. And she couldn't take that. And of course that could be a personality thing, but after time went by, I realized that she has deep-rooted emotional problems and she needs to work on them and solve them and try to get better with them, right? But she didn't want to do that. So, and her belief, all men cheat, all men beat women, all men do this. So what does she do? She goes out and she continues to I'm not talking about my ex anymore. I'm talking about what women will do in this sense is they'll continue to go out with guys that are like that because their belief is men all men are like that, or all men are capable of SA. Okay, and it's not true. It's not even close to being true. It's such a small percentage of guys that do that, and there are guys that don't get caught, sure, but even still, it's still a small percentage of guys. So they believe this, so it will continue to be their reality because that's what they're looking for. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
So many times I see it where two people may break up. One person wants space. They say, "I want space," and they say it just like that. They say space. And then this one says, "I can't give you space. If I give you space, you're going to leave me forever. You're going to orbit off into the moon and go away." And they just keep trying to chase the person. And then I say, "Yo, bro," or "Yo," just yo, not gender specific, right? I say, "Yo, pull your energy back. Stop projecting them energy and give them space." And then they pull their energy back and they start focusing on their own life. They start focusing on their own level of integrity. They start being vulnerable in their life. They start opening up. They start following their passion. They start living according to their own rules. They become the star of their own freaking movie. Then what happens a lot of times? This person that was like, "Hey, I want space," they come around and they're like, "Oh, look, there's a person I actually like again."
I just said this. This is exactly what happens. Okay, so guys, this is turning into a long video, so I want you guys to go watch his video, watch the rest of it. And if you guys actually like this kind of stuff, let me know if you want me to watch a full video. And I'll be uploading a lot more YouTube shorts as well. But if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments section down below. Check out the pinned comments as well. Sorry, not the description box down below. Coaching is down below. Pinned comments is down below. If you have any questions or video suggestions, anything you want me to cover, it's all there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Done.